I'm David Seltzer, a proud member of this community. So now's the time to turn off your cell phones and turn around and greet everybody and see who's here today. So what a day, huh?
Are you coming back?
So it's not this morning, but a couple of mornings ago I woke up, probably Wednesday, when that really warm day, and I thought, not that spring was here, even that summer's here, but that winter was over. And that I was relieved, and I felt joy. And it reminded me of the joy I feel here. So we have that here among my friends. You know, I was talking to someone this week, and he had just moved to the area, and he said, you know, I'm still looking for my tribe. And I thought, wow, what a great word, tribe. And that's, of course, I started thinking, have I found my tribe? And of course I have. You're my tribe. And it's a great word. Means for community too, so we're a tribe. So now please join me in the morning chant led by Bodhi, and then for a spiritual mind treatment for our own dear Reverend Karyl.
I see that we have some brand new people here this morning. Absolutely welcome. I'm Reverend Karyl Huntley, the community spiritual leader here. So as I do this morning prayer, if you would just turn within and let my words be your words. And I'm already set up so beautifully with the Face of God song and then David's sweet reference to our tribe. So we'll see what comes through prayer. And so it is that I remember right here, right now, that all that there is that one infinite presence in its formed and its unformed state. There is one life. There is one activity. And it is all from the one source, by many names: God, Spirit, Great Spirit, Allah, Allaha, and many, many more. I know that since there is one life and I am alive, that that life is my life now. I know that as I use the creative capacity to make my life, so it is everywhere. I know for each person here that they are an individualized manifestation of that one life, and that they also use the creative law. And so it is that I know everywhere I look, I see the face of God. I see the face of God in faces, in the faces of flowers, in the trees, in the earth herself. I see the face of God in the manifestations of the inventions of humanity. I see the face of God as I look into the heavens and into the running water. There is no place I can look where the face of God would not look back at me. And so this morning, I claim for myself and everyone who has that inner Me Too attitude, that I am aware of all of these manifestations of God in every moment, that I am aware that holiness looks back at me, that I am aware that there is sacred life in and through all circumstances and conditions, no matter how I judge them. They are a manifestation of the one. And so that brings me peace and compassion and connection. It brings me a healed sense of anything that was separate or fractured. It brings me that absolute knowingness that because my mind is also the mind of God, that anything I need to know, I know it when I need to know it. And so knowing that all is well with me in this day, in this moment, I know the same for each beloved within the sound of my voice. And as I release this prayer into the divine law that already the unseen hands are making it so, I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. This is so now, and so it is. Amen. Well then, there you have it. So, welcome once again, and especially to those people who are new or new-ish. We have wonderful musical guests for you today, or, well, actually, their family. Bodie and Posey and Robin is back with us today, so please welcome our musical tribe.
Yes, I do want to say something. I just want to thank my sister once again for inviting me over and over and over to come to this community, and for being sort of the instrument of this song. So thank you, Jill. I was wallowing in my tears, paralyzed by my fears, feeling sorry for myself and feeling blue, oh so blue. When my sister called and asked me, was I willing to be free? I listened closely, this is what came through. It's time to get all prayed up, time to get all prayed up, 'cause the answers are inside me. Spirit always guides me, get me all prayed up. Yes, I am all prayed up, trusting in the power of my word. I read everything I could about letting go of my shoulds, learning kindness and self-love, and finding peace of mind. I remember now to listen to that still small voice within. When I settle down, this is what I find. I choose to get all prayed up, choose to get all prayed up, 'cause the answers are inside me. Spirit always guides me, getting all prayed up. Yes, I am all prayed up, trusting in the power of my word. Consciousness is everything. I can mope or I can sing. I'm choosing to enjoy today, or praising God in every way. I've got to pray. I'm getting all prayed up. Yes, I am all prayed up. The answers are inside me. Spirit always guides me. Getting all prayed up. Yes, I am all prayed up, and trusting in the power of my word. Pray for faith and peace, and open to release old fears and doubts and every false belief. I'm opening to the guidance of Spirit's loving presence, letting go and feeling the relief of being all prayed up. Yes, I am all prayed up, 'cause the answers are inside me. Spirit always guides me, getting all prayed up. Yes, I am all prayed up, and trusting in the power of my word. I celebrate the power of my word.
Posey wrote that song with Rita Abrams.
Well, good morning. I'm Reverend Sarah Hargrave, staff minister at this wonderful spiritual community. We always like to start with gratitude. And the Prosperity class, the Prosperity Plus class that Reverend Karyl's been teaching has just completed. So it's 10 weeks of tithing practice and claiming your life's dream. So all of those who were in the class this time, if you'd raise your hand. Okay, and all of those who have been in the other 10 classes that have happened. Okay. Great, thank you. We're grateful for Reverend Karyl for teaching it and for all of you participating and enriching your lives with that. Children, we always love to bless our children, so just turn to them and know that they are going to study harmony with the earth and respect for all things. So from our place of harmony, lovingly say goodbye as they go off to teach their teachers. It looks like Snow White's there. So there's today is the first day of the second Spirit and Nature walk, and there's an easy hike today at noon. It's going to be at the China camp And I'm told that if you go north on 101 to San Pedro Road, and then off east off the freeway and follow it to China Camp. And if you're unfamiliar with that, is there anybody here who'd be willing? Jay raises his hand back there, and so if you don't know how to get there, Jay is the one to listen to. And so helping each other succeed. There's a new initiative that I'm working on for all of us to help each other succeed in whatever we want, in whatever way. And so it's going to be brainstorming and conversation. It'll be immediately after service on the 28th, Sunday the 28th, from 11:30 to 12:45. There's more information in the bulletin about that, as well as for the hike. And if the word success throws you, I want to tell you what Ernest Holmes said about success. He said, success is more than dollars and cents. So we're going to be talking about getting to know each other better, to learn about what we do personally and professionally in our lives, and how we can help each other achieve what it is our dreams and heart's desires are. And just read an interesting number that it turns out that 30% of all the Marin-based jobs are self-employed. So how many of you would be in that category in this? Okay. So we can help each other with lots of ways. Let's see, legacy event. We have a wonderful legacy event coming up. There's a flyer about it. You will be leaving, of course, your legal documents about what you want, but this is an opportunity to see what kind of letter from your heart you want to leave about wishes and blessings for those who are left behind. So it's a wonderful workshop evening, May 8th from 7 to 9:30. Flyers are on the events table. Okay. And now we have Reverend Karyl to talk about 2 upcoming events.
I want to talk about the Marin Human Race that is coming up on Saturday, May 11th. And we are participating in it this year, which means that we get to have a table that has information about our wonderful community, our tribe. And then we get to raise money by walking or running somewhere and having, I'm going to be at the table. But I do walk and run occasionally. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but I do. Anyway, back to the human race. If you would sign up and actually, Jay, see Jay, because Mary is sort of in charge of this, and you know, she's sort of in charge of Jay too. And yeah. So yeah.
This is our chance to see others in this very community nonprofit work. We do that every day in your own connections. Now there's a full gathering of about 10,000 of us who all congregate in one place. And we have a message. And what the other speakers and the particular pieces are really in this system. We can actually say who we are, and then listen to who they are, and be grateful about to make it a little bit. I suspect we will find ways with them, and I suspect they will find ways to be with us. That depends on you.
Yoo-hoo. Yay. All right. So come on out there with us and have a lot of fun on May 11th. And the other announcement that I have is our wonderful founder, Dr. Lloyd Tupper, has been invited and has accepted to come to the current foundations class that Francine is teaching. And that foundations class has been grappling with the issue that all of us grapple with, and that is, how is it that God is in the sad and tragic things of this world? And so Lloyd is going to give a whole evening on Thursday evening in answer to that question. And they are opening up the class for everyone. And so if you would like an evening with our founder, a wise and glorious man that has answered this question for more years than I have, please come at 6:30 to the Learning Center this Thursday. Okay, come a little bit early so you can find a place to park. And once again, welcome to all of you who are here for the first time, and we are so blessed to have you, and I hope you feel that it's your tribe too. Sean Haven made our wonderful altar. Is this the best? I mean, what absolute spring! It just screams spring. And this is my little sprite that she put in the center of the altar, and it says on the bottom of it, "The earth is alive with the glory of the goddess." And so that's what I believe. All right, so our theme for this year, launching now into the message part, is the new world and the ancient path. And what we're doing is we're bringing the wisdom from the past and the wisdom from the future, actually, and how it impacts us within our empowering philosophy. So the ancient piece is, you know, seasons have been a part of the earthly plane since Earth coalesced, right? I mean, since it was a gas cloud and then it solidified into this beautiful, beautiful land of valleys and mountains and waters, and in its whole evolutionary existence, 4 billion years, it has revolved, and what else does it do? It revolves and it revolves and rotates. All that time, we have had seasons on this planet, and so this season is a lot of people's favorite. You know, spring is sprung, as they say, and the things that we planted earlier in the spring are sprouting. And so we have done some ritual with seeds, and if you have planted those seeds, they're up, and maybe you put some flowers in your garden, they're up. And so the theme for April is inspiration, because we can look out at the world now and have it be, I mean, we're not in North Dakota, thank God, but we can look out at this world here, and they'll get spring, that they just get it a little bit later than us. And so how blessed and fortunate and wise we are to live in the Bay Area where this beautiful spring is happening right now. So this is a little book that I put together of my favorite things, my favorite ideas. And I'm going to read to you a little short essay, little one-pager, about spring. And this is by Maurice Maeterlinck. And Maurice Maeterlinck was a Belgian playwright, poet, and essayist. And this says it about spring for me. It's called News of Spring. It loiters. It goes to and fro like an unoccupied gardener. It pushes aside the branches, fondles with its breath the olive tree that quivers with a silver smile, polishes the glossy grass, recalls the birds that had never fled, encourages the bees that were workers without ceasing, and then seeing, like God, that all is well in spotless Eden. It rests for a moment on the ledger of a terrace, which the orange tree crowns with regular flowers and with fruits of light. And before leaving, casts a last look over its labor of joy and entrusts it to the sun. That is news of spring. So, if we miss this annual party called spring, our time as an earthling is impoverished just a little bit. Because this is one of the gifts that we get because we chose to come to earth. You know, of course, that we are immortal beings that have who knows really what experience is before and after this life? But something. We have something because we're immortal. And I believe because we get to choose pretty much everything in this earth plane that we chose to come here. And so for us to be here, we should, take advantage we take advantage of sales, right? We should take advantage of the gifts of this realm, and spring is one of them. And if we make a habit of loving and appreciating spring, we're going to talk about that habit of loving and appreciating a lot of things, but it fills us up because it is a part of us. Spring lives in us. Everybody that looks out at the world now in the Northern Hemisphere has that feeling of new beginnings. And it's like joy seems to be what spring is about. And it said, Maeterlinck said, the labor of joy. And it's not just us. I drive 101 between here and home all the time, and the cows that are out there all year long are now frisky. And just think about all that means, but they're frisky. And it's spring. That's why they're frisky. They're not so frisky in the wintertime. So, there was a principle up here when you came in. I don't know if you noticed it, but I'm going to tell you it again. And the principle is look for the good and praise it. Because that is really the lesson of spring. The lesson of spring is appreciation. And the reason that I want to talk to you for just a moment about this very basic principle, look for the good and praise it, is that because of the thoughts and the awareness and what we notice and the impressions that come to us from what we see, those mental workings are the cause of our experience of life. Let me say that again. Impressions and awareness and the thoughts that we have about things are the source of our experience of life. It is not, as some people might think, other people. Other people are not the source of our experience of life. Circumstances are not the source of our experience of life. It is our thoughts about them. And so what we think about today creates our experience of tomorrow. I was talking to a practitioner about this, and he said that the first time he heard that, it boggled his mind. And so if any of you are being boggled right now by this very, very specific statement that what you think about today creates your experience of tomorrow, just know that you're not alone. You're not alone in being boggled. But nevertheless, it's true. It is absolutely true. Sometimes it's easier to see that in other people than in ourselves. You don't know a truly happy person that talks about all the reasons they're unhappy. You don't know that kind of a person. It doesn't work that way. If you talk about all the things that are wrong in life, what you create tomorrow is more wrong things. And if you talk about all the blessings that you have today, what you're going to have is more blessings. So our thinking creates what we call our reality. And if you want a different reality, I am telling you, you're here, and so there's something here for you. And what's here for you today is you have to change your thinking in order to have a different reality. You have to change your thinking in order to have a different reality. And the thing also that is mind-boggling to people who have never really turned their mind to this next thing I'm going to say, you can and do choose your thoughts. You can choose what you think about. If your mind starts going down a loop that's like not so good, you can stop it. You can stop it. And you know what? That is what we're all about here. That's what the classes are about. That's what the practitioner training is about. It's about really minding your mind so that your life can be so blessed that boggles your mind. So The title of my talk today is Seeing and Observing Increase Our Faith. So when we see the good, when we focus on the good, when we look at something and call it good, when we see those beautiful flowers out there, or this beautiful altar here, or the person that you're in love with next to you, and you say, this is really good, when you concentrate on it, meditate on it, contemplate, hold it in your mind, you are doing something that is sacred practice. And so the word today, oh, I'm a little ahead of myself. No! Oh, is that funny? Oh, God is so funny. God is so funny. Okay, all right. See that little circle with that? No worry. No worry. Why no worry? Because worry is creative too, right? That stops up the creative process. So if we worry, that's what we can make more of. There's another one here that we don't want to do, and that's hurry. See, there's another little circle with a line through it. No. No worry, no hurry. Because hurry also kind of draws us away from this sacred holding and contemplating and observing. And so the word really and truly is behold. Okay? Oh, Lord. I haven't done such a magnificent mistake in front of people in a long time. So, but you got it. You got it good. All right. So, when we behold, what we actually see and feel is our oneness with everything. So, the next thing I want to share with you out of this little book of things that I love is a Navajo chant. And that is, the mountains, I become a part of it. The herbs, the fir tree, I become a part of it. The morning mists, the clouds, the gathering waters, I become a part of it. The wilderness, the dewdrops, the pollen, I become a part of it. And so that's one of the gifts that we have from beholding. And that's one of the things that spring reminds us of, is that when we look at these beautiful flowers and these blooming things everywhere, and when we know that, as we just sang, that the face of God is looking back at us, that is the face of God as that beautiful spring manifestation. And as we take that in, we become larger. We become happier earthlings. We become truly what we came here to be, appreciators, beholders of the face of God on the earthly plane. So spring is a really gentle time of year. You know, the first flowers that come out, like these irises, this iris plant blooms once. I mean, we've got lots and lots and lots of them. That's why they're in the store for a long time. But the bulbs and the tubers bloom once. The tulips bloom once. The iris bloom once. And so these first flowers of spring are very tender. Some of the other ones, like roses, will bloom all the way until it gets cold again. But these are very tender. So we have, what I want to tell you is some gentle reminders of how seeing and observing can increase our faith. So when our life reflects the holiness that we behold, we're happier. So the first gentle reminder is that everything is God-informed, because there isn't anything else to be made from. In this denomination, we have one power, one source, not two opposing. We have one source. So everything comes from that. And so there's nothing else to be made out of, just the God stuff. So when we have something that we don't love, that is when calling it God and calling it good is that it's one of the biggest lessons that we have on earth. And that's why we've got Lloyd coming to talk to the class about it on Thursday. But I came up with a new analogy. Actually, a new analogy was downloaded to me. And that is the analogy of music. Now, when you put notes together, you have music. There is some music that is very pleasant to you. You like it. There's other music, if you listen to a lot of music, that you don't like, that doesn't suit you, that is discordant or corny or whatever it is that you call it. You don't like it as much. But it's still all music. The same with form and experience. Everything is God in form and experience. You like some of it more than you like other stuff, but there's nothing else to be made out of, just like music is made out of notes. The stuff in the world is made out of God. And so everything that you think you like or you think you don't like, if you kind of push it aside, just like the grasses of spring, if you just push it aside, you can find God there. That is the lesson, especially with the things that are painful to you and you don't like, is to just look a little deeper and see that God is there. Then every single thing can be a blessing. And this is a practice that we do in every class. It's a practice that practitioners have been, they go through 3 years of learning this stuff, and then it doesn't stop then after they become practitioners. And still, we work on it. I have things in my life that I don't like. I have bad surprises sometimes. And it is a constant practice for me to remind myself that in the midst of this is God. Okay? The next one is everything comes to pass. Things don't stay here. You know, I can't tell you how many days since my roses started sending up those little red leaves, I waited for the first rose. And actually, I write it down. I keep a journal of who blooms first every year. And so I knew who was going to bloom first this year because the bud gets big and then fat and then colored and then it opens. The first rose, which was on Joseph's coat this year, is past its prime already. Things pass. That's another message of spring. You got to appreciate me now. Because the spring of 2013, I'm leaving. I'm going to pass. And so when we practice this, of looking at what is now here and loving it, then we just are filled up again and again and again and again. And we don't long for what's past because we loved it when it was here. So, next one is walking is a good speed for beholding. You know, actually, that is one of the big reasons that spirit and nature came together so easily and is such a strong part of our community right now. I mean, we had 15 people on the first walk, and I'm sure we're going to have that many today. Because whether we think about it or not, when we're walking in nature, we have an invitation to behold the face of God. So I've asked Marilyn Letzos to share with us for a moment, because she was talking to me about this very, very thing. And so Marilyn, just come up and share a little about practicing and a little bit about walking, if you would.
Thank you. I would love to. Hello, my tribe. I love that. Thank you, David, for that beautiful image. Well, I'm here to tell you that when I walked into this community about 20 years ago, my life has changed so very, very, very much since then. Being a practitioner is the best thing that ever happened to me. And I feel like life gets better and better and better for me every year. Because as we practitioners do, we cultivate our consciousness by doing the things that Reverend Karyl is talking about right now. We do it together. We do it in classes. That's just the greatest way. I get more out of my classes than I hope the people others who participate get as much. And I have two things to share with you that I told them that they came to me recently and said, this is really making a difference in my life. But I told Reverend Karyl I was going to also talk about what I do. I know that when I get worried, that's not a good thing, because worry is negative planning, as Reverend Karyl said so aptly a few weeks ago. So when I start to really get worried, I just go, uh-oh, stop. I stop all thinking, make it very clear with myself, no more thinking. Open the heart, close the mind for the next 10 minutes. I take a walk. I go outside, and with joyful discipline, I just look at what's going on. That green, that green won't be that green tomorrow, but it's just the most amazing color that the grass is making right now. And that fruit tree is shimmering in the sunlight. I just walk up the hill and bliss out on the smell of the earth, the sound of the birds. And I like to look down on myself as if my life had already passed, as if this life's complete, and ask myself, did I miss any pleasures? Did I really feel the joy, the incredible privilege of being on this earth in this gorgeous place, Marin County? Then, on the way back down the hill, I do radical gratitude. I give thanks for absolutely everything I have, including the perfect resolution to whatever I was worried about, which already exists in the mind of God, and therefore I give thanks for it, and then I go back to work. You can also do what Ed Dukowski does. In our class, I gave a homework, the change group gave the homework to pick out some essence, some quality that you would like to experience. This is in the morning before you do anything else. Think out, like today, joy or peace or delightful surprises. And just write it down, let it go. Ed was having so much fun at the end of the day, looking back and seeing how whatever he chose played out for him during the day, that he's still doing it even though the class is long over. And I was talking to Sonia Twombly this morning, and she said that her perspective, absolutely, that she says it's all about choosing her perspective, that when something's tough and she's feeling bad, there's a challenge, she says, how could this be teaching me what I need to know? How could this be stretching me? How could this challenge be for my highest good? She says it changes everything. Try that one. It's worth it to cultivate our consciousness. It changes everything. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That was all true, absolutely true. And you know what? You can do it too. Next one is repeat, this too is God. It's a gentle reminder, again, when you're getting a lot of suggestions for when things are not going exactly the way you think they should, that when we judge negatively, of course there are things that we don't like. There are patterns in the world that are difficult for us. And not too long ago, most of you know that I went back east to visit my son who was conducting the opera Dead Man Walking, and it's still in my consciousness. Dead Man Walking is a true story about Sister Helen Prejean, who walks with convicted murderers to their execution. And so this particular Dead Man Walking opera is the story of Joseph de Rocher, who up until minutes before his execution professed his innocence. And so here in the climax of the show and of his life, Sister Helen is belting out in her soprano, "Take me to the truth, Joe, take me to the truth." And he breaks down and tells the whole story of how he did kill these two teenagers. And on his knees, he is sobbing and saying, "Can you ever forgive me, Sister Helen?" And her response is so amazing. She doesn't talk about herself. He's saying, "Can you ever forgive me, Sister Helen?" And she says, "God is right here, Joe." And that is such an amazing moment for the audience, because it's exactly what the lesson is. Even in the harshest experiences of human life, God is right here. And if God is right here, forgiveness is of course assured. Transformation is available. Connection with our source is right here being given to us. And so, whether you understand or not, the next time you are in a tough situation, please write this on your hand and keep writing it, so it's there for you. So you can say, "This too is God." And you too will have a transformative experience. In the bulletin on the back, every single week we have a quote from Ernest Holmes, and this one is completely apropos. At the end of the quote it says, "No matter what the outside appearance, we must cling steadfastly to the knowledge that God is good and God is all." You do that and your life will be transformed. Then finally is notice the positive changes, because as things get better and as your beholding bears witness to this truth that as we look for the good and praise it, more good comes into our life, you are going to have shifts in your life that feel better. And I want you to absolutely know that the shifts in your life because of this practice are not luck, they're not happenstance, they're not a curiosity, they're the manifestation of your work. They are that's why when this whole philosophy was drawn together by Ernest Holmes, he called it religious science. Because the science part of it is you do the practices and you will get predictable results. And that's the predictable results. The basic principle is look for the good and praise it, and you will get more good. So the new world of this theme that we're doing, the new world and the ancient path is spring. The new world is, are you aware that there is actual research on how to get happier? I mean, not just religious research, spiritual research. I mean, in the world. In fact, I'm going to link a TED Talk to my outgoing email. If you're not on my outgoing email that gives you a recap of the lesson, just go on our website, ggcsl.org, and click subscribe, and you'll just get my letters. So in this TED Talk, there's research about how to get happier. So here's a practice, and it's science. It's proven. For 21 days, what you do is you write down 3 things that you are grateful for every single day, but they have to be new things. So you get the 3 obvious things today, and then you look a little deeper and you get 3 more things tomorrow. And by day 21, what's happening is, you know what's happening, because you know you're going to have to write down your 3 gratitudes at the end of the day, Your whole life is about looking for what's great. What am I going to write down today that I'm grateful for? How do I feel gratitude, and where do I feel gratitude, and how can I put this into words, and how can I write this down? 21 days, you change a habit, you will be rewired, and your life will be different because you will have learned how to look for the blessings, how to look for the good and praise it. So how many are with me on doing that? Oh my gosh, we're just going to be like shining lights of Marin. Yeah. Kathy does it already. Okay. So coming back to news of spring. This is how we take in the news of spring and live it. And if you keep coming back, we'll have the news of summer. We'll have the wisdom of summer. Then we'll have the wisdom of fall and the wisdom of winter. We're going to go around this Celtic cross, and we're going to have themes for every single week that are appropriate to the season, because we're all earthlings and it's very satisfying. So you are more than welcome to, there are these crosses on paper. There's one at a stack of them at the welcome newcomers table, and we'll make more when those run out so you can have them for yourself. So let's do the inner work now, and take this in, pray it in, get all prayed up like Posey already sang about. And in our mind's eye, practice beholding. As we close our eyes and turn within and look with that inner eye, and know that we can see and observe in criticism or see and observe in holiness. And as we see and observe in holiness, we behold the face of God everywhere we look. And so as we are turned within and can easily remember a beautiful scene of spring, let us behold that in our mind's eye and be grateful for the colors, the breezes, the beauty, the transitory nature of spring on planet Earth, and behold that. And letting that go from our awareness, as it surely will in the earthly plane, we bring to mind some folks that we are in relationship with. Perhaps some that we love, and perhaps one or two that we're having a smidge of difficulty with. And behold that connection and say to ourselves, this too is the face of God. And this is the face of God. Behold them and be grateful. And let that thought go. And turn your attention, if you would, to yourself. Sometimes the greatest challenge of seeing the face of God is when we contemplate ourselves. Somehow our shortcomings present themselves so easily to us. But in this moment, we simply say, there also is God. I am an unrepeatable miracle. I am made of God's stuff. My mind is the mind of God. My life is the life of God. And because the life of God is perfect, whole, and complete, my life must be the same.
I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. Every time I forget that so, the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it, 'cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. How does the tiny robin feel when she finally leaves the nest? She takes a giant leap of faith and lets nature do the rest. Oh, let me be that faithful. Let me let go and know that I will surely fly. And there's a simple reason why. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. Every time I forget that so, the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it, 'cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. There's a power in the universe, and it's greater than just me, and it works a million miracles when I let it be. 'Cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. Every time I forget that so, the universe will show it. There seems to be a plan that works, and there's no way I can blow it, 'cause I always know what I need to know when I need to know it. Yes, I always know what I need to know when I need to know it.
Beautiful. Okay, now is the time for our tithes and offerings. And so if the ushers would come up here, and the rest of us can prepare our tithes and offerings. Now, as the basket goes by, if you see a little card in it that says, "I've already pledged," that means that that person has an agreement with our office that we take money out of whatever account they want, and that means that they can give even if they're on vacation. So I let you know that as vacation time comes around, in case you would like to have that arrangement. So if you would take your gift in your hands and put it next to your heart, and just know with me that the divine givingness that we see in the spring is evidence that our source gives continuously all the time and everything. And as we give of our life force through the symbol of money, we are absolutely blessed, especially if we give with joy and contentment and happy anticipation for the good that our money will do. And so let's infuse all of the offering today with happy anticipation, the good that the money will do here and as it moves through this community beyond. And so it is. Amen. Now would the ushers please receive the gifts.
Dear child, let me tell you how I feel. I have given you my treasure. I love you so. Dear child, dear child, how I feel. I have just
so resonate in each heart. That is the message of the infinite presence to all of its creation. I love you so. We are so blessed, so filled, and it is so good, and so it is. Amen. All righty then. What a great, great morning. Come next week, another great morning of spring. So in wrapping up the service, the practitioners are coming forward. These beautiful beings are able to work with your thoughts and transform them into those life-giving thoughts that will change your life. So Reverend Sarah is going to pray us out.
With the other practitioners surround the room. And know that these practitioners are able to help you if there's winter in your life to bring it to spring. So just join me right now. And I speak my word in the first person for me and for all of you that choose to accept it for yourself. I have so much to be grateful for. The understanding that Spirit is truly all there is, ever present in every situation and every person. And knowing that I am a unique and magnificent masterpiece of Spirit unlike any that has ever been and ever will be. So I open my heart to this truth, to the love that is always there, to the good that is always present. And I open my mind to knowing that good is all there is and God is all there is. Knowing the infinite intelligence guides and directs me so that I know all that I need to know at the moment I need to know it. And I open my body to the wholeness and healing that is always the truth, the ever-renewing life that is flowing through me and through all of my experience. So I am knowing that all that needs to be harmonized and healed is for the highest good of all. So knowing this truth, I simply say thank you, and I wait for wonderful reports and delightful surprises. And so it is. Amen.
So I invite you now all to stand for our affirmation and closing song. So right up here. I see with the eyes of God. I look out at the earth and behold beauty. I observe my brothers and sisters and notice my own compassion. I view myself with a gentle, loving gaze and feel gratitude. All is well in my world.